Welcome to the Young and the Restless Daily YAPP for a quick, and by that, I mean you're already halfway done, recap of the most amazing or what the heck did we just watch moments on today's episode. Let's get to it. On The Young and the Restless, sometimes the drama gets real. For Billy and Phyllis, it's been building a while now, and although it's part of the storyline, no one really enjoys watching someone suffer. Because as much as we know that this Genoa city isn't real when it comes to mental health, Y and R does like to touch on the subject in a real way now and then. From Connor's OCD and how Adam and Chelsea have been dealing with helping their son, to Sharon's breakdowns and medication unbalances, the struggles have been real. Billy has been playing it cool in front of Victor, but he's not actually doing that well with the stress of his obsessive bullying. Ranting to Sally, she saw the need for a pause, got Billy to focus on some breathing techniques, and calmed him down. Across the park, Nick was doing the same with Phyllis, who was clearly on edge. Nick put aside his workout to make Phyllis' mental and emotional health a priority. He was there for her and let her unwind in a safe place with him. Until Sharon showed up and got jealous when she saw them hugging. But until then, it was nice. More than nice, it was good and healthy to see the show be real. Sometimes life is hard, and they not only acknowledged that mid-storylines, but they also showed some techniques on how to deal. And great timing with it being Mental Health Action Day yesterday. Want more details? We got you! Soap Central has the best full Y and R recaps on the internet. You can even go back over 30 years and read each and every one of them. If you can't wait until the next episode, we have daily spoilers, too. And whatever you do this weekend, do not seriously do NOT. Forget to read the 2 scoops for some laughs in the as close as we can come to being a watching party without actually being a show. And the best part is if you agree or disagree, we want to know. As always, share your comments below. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Pulse Canvas. It's me, Julie here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching, so let's dive into today's video. The Young and the Restless recap for Friday, May 16, indicates that Amanda Sinclair will reveal Aristotle Dumas' true agenda, while Nick Newman rages at Billy Abbott. So let's discuss all the hot drama. At Society, Lily Winters, Devin Winters, and Nate Hastings will all end up there after getting separate texts about a meeting related to Aristotle Dumas. The 3 of them will assume Dumas is going to end an employee before Amanda comes strutting in. Amanda will briefly pretend she could be Dumas, but she'll ultimately confirm he's indeed a man and her boss. After Amanda explains how Dumas recruited her to be his attorney, it'll add to all Lily, Nate, and Devin's suspicions about what he's up to. However, Amanda will make it clear that Dumas has no interest in going after Winters, and that he thinks Neil Winters would be proud. That'll raise more suspicions about whether Dumas might have known Neil personally. Amanda will offer cagey responses to all the questions she keeps getting, but she'll ultimately insist Dumas only has one focus in Genoa City, one that'll please all of them, especially Lily. Devin will think that makes it sound like Dumas is doing all this for Lily, but Amanda will act like he's reading too much into a simple statement. Amanda will clarify that Dumas is only interested in Chancellor Industries, and will claim that her boss' sense of fair play was offended over what Victor Newman did to Billy. There'll be plenty of questions about who Dumas actually is, but Amanda will suggest he's exactly who he claims to be and hint that it's not unusual for someone in his position to change his name and remain private. Amanda will get why there's still some distrust when it comes to Dumas, but she'll reiterate that Winters isn't a target. In fact, Amanda will run down the list of why Dumas admires Devin, Nate, and Lily. That'll include some talk about Lily's prison stint, illness, and losses. So Amanda will make it clear that Dumas thinks she's a survivor. Devin will urge Amanda to tell Dumas thanks for the compliments and let him know they're going to keep their eyes open anyway. Afterward, Lily and Devin will head to Nate's place with him. As they all mull over their conversation with Amanda, Devin will seem uncertain of their plan to use Damian Kane and how to proceed from here. Amanda's part in all this will really throw Devin for a loop, but Lily will act like Amanda could be the key to luring Dumas out of the shadows. In the park, Sharon Newman will find Phyllis Summers in a close moment with Nick, so she'll question them since it looked intense. Nick and Phyllis will play it off as a discussion about Summer Newman being in Milan, so that'll pave the way for Sharon to gush about her trip to London with Nick and the kids. Sharon will pressure Phyllis to visit Milan with Daniel Romolotti Jr., Lucy Romolotti, and maybe even Harrison Abbott. Phyllis will pretend to cave in and act like Nick should come along, but she'll eventually admit she's joking. After Phyllis thanks Nick for everything he did for her today, he'll leave to get back to work. Sharon will question Phyllis about what she meant, so Phyllis will point out that Nick was supporting her since she parted ways with Billy at Abbott Communications. Once Sharon starts talking about London again, Phyllis will note that Nick didn't mention it. The whole conversation will basically make it seem like Phyllis and Sharon's feud is bubbling just under the surface while they keep up this funny nice act. Amanda will text Phyllis about being in town and will ask her to meet at Society, so Phyllis will take off without telling Sharon who she's going to see. In another part of the park, Sally Spectra will push Billy to stop all his venting about Victor and Adam Newman. Sally will force Billy to literally touch grass with his bare feet and imagine his worries are floating away like a pile of leaves. Billy will thank Sally for calming him down, but then Nick will pop up and blast Billy for firing Phyllis. Nick will feel like Billy kicked Phyllis when she was down, so Phyllis will spy nearby and seem touched over him defending her. Next on Monday's I and R episode, Phyllis will hug Amanda as they reunite at Society. Once they've caught up briefly, Amanda will admit Phyllis is part of the reason for her trip to GC. Why the hell are you trying to contact Aristotle Dumas? Amanda will ask a stunned Phyllis. In the recent episode of the CBS soap opera, The Young and the Restless, aired on May 16, 2025, Amanda came back to Genoa City and revealed more about Aristotle Dumas, raising questions instead of answers. At the same time, Nick and Billy had a fiery argument over Phyllis getting fired. Amanda met with Lily, Devin, and Nate to explain Dumas' goals. She claimed that he was not a threat, but her vague answers made them wonder if Dumas had a personal connection to Neil Winters. Amanda insisted Dumas admired them, especially Lily, but the group remained cautious. Elsewhere, Sharon saw Phyllis in a close moment with Nick and grew suspicious, even though everyone acted friendly. Sally helped calm Billy down, but things got tense again when Nick confronted him about Phyllis. Later, Amanda met with Phyllis and shocked her by asking why she was trying to reach Dumas. At the Society on the Young and the Restless, Lily, Devin, and Nate showed up after getting strange texts about a meeting linked to Aristotle Dumas. They thought someone might be getting fired, but Amanda surprised them by showing up instead. She jokingly said she could be Dumas, then admitted he was her boss. Amanda explained she was hired as Dumas' lawyer and claimed he was not a threat. She said that he respected the Winters family and believed Neil Winters would be proud of his goals. According to Amanda, Dumas only cared about Chancellor Industries and felt Victor had treated Billy unfairly. Although Amanda said Dumas meant no harm, her vague answers made the trio uneasy. She praised Lily's strength through hard times, which made Devin think Dumas might have personal reasons for getting involved. Even though Amanda described Dumas as fair and honest, the group decided to stay alert. Later, they talked more about using Damian Kane in their plan. Devin was unsure about Amanda's role, but Lily believed she could help bring Dumas out of hiding. At Chancellor Park on the Young and the Restless, Sharon spotted Nick and Phyllis sharing what seemed like an intimate moment. Sharon asked about it, but they said they were just talking about summer being in Milan. Sharon then brought up their family trip to London and suggested Phyllis visit too, with Daniel, Lucy, and Harrison. Phyllis joked that Nick should come along. She thanked Nick for his help earlier and left. Sharon, confused, asked what Phyllis meant. Phyllis explained that Nick had supported her after her split from Billy. Things got awkward when Sharon realized Nick had not told Phyllis about London. Even though they stayed polite, it was clear there was still tension and old rivalry between them. In the park on The Young and the Restless, Billy complained about Victor and Adam, but Sally told him to touch the grass and let his anger go. Her advice worked, and Billy felt more relaxed. He thanked her for helping him calm down. Then Nick showed up and blasted Billy for firing Phyllis. He said Billy hurt her when she was already struggling. Phyllis watched from nearby and looked touched by Nick standing up for her. The clash showed Nick's loyalty and brought back the tension between him and Billy. Back at the Society on The Young and the Restless, Phyllis met Amanda after getting a strange text. They hugged and caught up, but Amanda quickly got serious. She asked Phyllis, "Why are you trying to contact Aristotle Dumas?" The Young and the Restless spoilers for Monday, May 19, reveal that Victor Newman will hint about a mysterious plan, while Phyllis Summers finds herself backed into a corner. There'll be plenty of excitement playing out in Genoa City, so let's discuss all the shockers and shakeups. For starters, Nikki Newman's heart will be full as Victor kicks off her birthday festivities. Victor will ultimately hint that this is only the beginning, so Nikki will be intrigued over what else her husband's cooking up. Of course, a casting announcement already offered some interesting clues. Jai Rodriguez will play Pietro, the party planner, later this month, and Y&R spoilers specify that he'll help orchestrate Nikki's birthday bash. It sounds like Victor will have some romantic gifts in store for Nikki now, but Claire may latch onto Nikki's birthday as an excellent excuse for the party she wants to throw anyway. It may be more of a belated celebration, but Claire will continue to hope she can show off her happiness with Kyle Abbott at the event and shift Victor's perspective. In the meantime, Victor will have a few tricks up his sleeve when it comes to reminding Nikki of just how much she means to him. Nikki and Victor's love will take center stage later during the week of May 19 to 23 as well, so fans will want to stay tuned as he moves forward with his mysterious plan. As for Phyllis, it looks like she'll have to answer Amanda Sinclair's question after getting backed into a corner. Amanda should apply more pressure on Monday's episode and wait to find out why Phyllis reached out to Aristotle Dumas. Phyllis may mention her intel and hope that Dumas could fund her new business venture, but Amanda may think it's a mistake to get tangled up in the storm that's brewing. Naturally, Amanda will have to answer Phyllis' questions too since she's Dumas' lawyer. Phyllis will sense that Amanda is keeping some big secrets, but it's doubtful Amanda will offer updates on too much at this point. Y&R spoiler alert. Here are your teasers for The Young and the Restless for the week of Monday, May 19th to Friday, May 23rd, 2025. Be sure to tune in to CBS every weekday to see how everything plays out in Genoa City. Billy grills Amanda for intel. Damien and Lily discuss their trust issues. Victor is skeptical of Claire's proposal. Victoria makes a decision about her relationship with Cole Holden, quizzes Kyle about his past with Audra. Victor surprises Nikki with a romantic evening. Michael distracts Lauren from their problems. Jack helps Diane find her place with the Abbott's. Abby is bothered and on guard by Amanda's return. Audra is forced to defend her actions. Damien accepts an intriguing offer Victor gives Michael a dire warning. Lauren worries about her marriage. Diane worries about Kyle's decision-making. The young and the restless spoilers reveal that Phyllis Summers and Nick Newman's bond is being highlighted again. So we have to ask, is Phyllis about to steal Sharon Newman's spot in Nick's bed? Is a major rivalry ready to reignite? Nick and Phyllis have a long-time connection as former flames and co-parents, but their friendship took a backseat during most of Sharon's drama in recent months. By and are mostly focused on Sharon and Nick's strong bond instead, which left many fans wondering if a romantic reunion might happen. Despite all the times Nick came to Sharon's rescue, he planted her firmly in the friend zone during an honest conversation before their Europe trip. Even so, Sharon seems stuck on the idea that maybe she can wear Nick down eventually. Now that Sharon and Nick are home from their family getaway in London, she keeps playing up what a wonderful bonding experience it was. Of course, we couldn't help but notice how jealous Sharon looked over Nick and Phyllis' close moment in the May 16 episode. Sharon could barely contain the anger that was threatening to rise up, and Phyllis appeared to be in the same boat. Now that Nick is rescuing Phyllis in her own time of need, her truce with Sharon may not last much longer. Although Sharon and Phyllis reached an understanding after their awful captivity ordeal, they're already taking steps toward being rivals again. It's just a matter of what'll be the final straw that pushes Phyllis and Sharon back into enemy territory. Nick may become a big reason why Sharon and Phyllis' feud ultimately comes back around. It's fitting for some Nick conflict to end this truce since Phyllis and Sharon spent so many years fighting over him. Whether Sharon actually stands a chance of landing back in Nick's bed or not, she'll be furious if it looks like Phyllis wants to steal that spot. If Phyllis and Nick really do end up back in bed together, that'll make things even worse. Is Sharon and Phyllis' truce about to fall apart? Will Phyllis make a sizzling play for Nick and provoke Sharon's fury in the process? The young and the restless spoilers reveal that fans may soon see a forbidden kiss, a reunion attempt that backfires, and the Newtown pariah. Let's talk about some crucial story developments and how they'll affect Y and R in the coming weeks. For starters, Lily Winters and Damian Kane may be on the verge of sharing a forbidden kiss. At least it may be forbidden as far as Damian's boss is concerned. There's more evidence every day to suggest that Aristotle Dumas is actually a Kane Ashby recast. All signs point to Billy Flynn taking over the role, so Damian could get on Kane's bad side in more ways than one soon enough. If Damian goes through with this double agent plot and tries to dupe Dumas, that'll be mistake number one. However, it could be a far worse mistake to lock lips with Lily or even land in bed with her. Assuming Dumas is Kane, it's safe to say that was not part of his plan, and he may ultimately make Damian pay as a result. Based on Amanda Sinclair's info in the May 16 episode, we know Dumas is going after Chancellor and that he's a great admirer of Lily. In fact, Amanda's hints made it seem like Lily is at the center of all Dumas' scheming. If Dumas is indeed Kane like we suspect, then he may be hoping for a Lily reunion. Of course, creating this mysterious persona and freaking Lily out about protecting her family business isn't the best way to achieve that. Whatever Kane thinks he's doing is probably going to backfire with Lily, at least for a while. Lily may explode in rage once Dumas is revealed as Kane, so he'll face a tough romantic setback that could be difficult to overcome. Thanks to this elaborate Dumas mess, the show may be setting Kane up as the new town pariah. Kane seems poised to become persona non grata and should have a difficult fight on his hands when it comes to getting anyone to trust him again. Plus, Victor Newman is going to consider Dumas even more of an enemy to crush if he finds out Dumas is none other than Kane Ashby. The Dumas storyline may suddenly get more interesting following the big Kane reveal, so we'll bring you updates on all the shocking news and mayhem to come. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal a preview clip has been released for the week of May 19, 2025. It shows Nikki Newman getting a surprise on her birthday. Amanda Sinclair tries to reassure Abby Winters. However, that could put Abby in the middle. Keep reading and let's talk about what is coming up in the CBS soap opera. Next week, fans can expect Claire Grace Newman to get a bad feeling. Claire tells Kyle Abbott that he planned to trap Audra Charles. Claire explains that the more she thinks about this plan, the more she realizes it's a terrible idea. Will Kyle listen to her advice, or could he be headed into destruction? Over with Amanda, she will try to explain the Aristotle Dumas situation to Abby. In a preview clip, Abby looks divine wearing white, but Amanda does her best to calm Abby down. Despite their differences, Amanda says that Dumas doesn't plan on stealing the company. The lawyer claims that Dumas wants to protect it. That is when Abby demands to know what's in it for Dumas. Abby is right to be suspicious. Get updates on the latest news about the Young and the Restless straight to your inbox. We use your personal data for interest-based advertising, as outlined in our privacy notice. If Dumas truly wants to protect Winters, then why all the secrecy? The Winters family are right to be asking so many questions. It's also interesting that Amanda of all people is Dumas' legal representation. The Young and the Restless spoilers for next week reveal that Amanda seems sincere in her explanation to Abby. However, Amanda's demeanor was a bit different when talking to Lily Winters, Nate Hastings, and Devin Winters. It's not clear if Amanda is being real or not. It would be a shocking twist if Amanda were working with Dumas to take something Devin loves away from him, the family business. Back to Abby, Amanda might be counting on her to sell Nate, Devin, and Lily on the idea. However, I also wonder if Amanda could be back to get revenge. Maybe both financially as well as romantically. The lawyer spent a lot of time taking it slow with Devin. The minute she let her guard down, Devin betrayed her with Abby. Previous stints have shown that Amanda hasn't moved on and hasn't forgotten about the betrayal. That's a long time to remain bitter about a relationship. Over at the ranch, expect Victor Newman to spoil Nikki on her birthday. The matriarch says that it's a wonderful beginning to her special day. That is when Victor hints that there is more. Which storyline are you looking forward to seeing the most during the week of May 19, 2025? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. On The Young and the Restless, Melissa Ordway plays Abby Newman, and the actress has been traveling back and forth from her home in Tennessee to Los Angeles to shoot scenes. This last trip, however, was different than the rest. Melissa Ordway took to her Instagram account to share with her followers about her recent family trip to Los Angeles. The actress and her husband, actor Justin Gaston, traveled with their 2 daughters to LA this month to make a family vacation out of a work trip. As Ordway shared in a recent post, she was able to have lunch dates with her daughters on the days she was on The Young and the Restless set, and the combo brought her so much joy. What a week in LA! Sunshine, good food, great friends, work, and yes, even a car break-in. Never a dull moment. We love you, La. Ordway captioned a series of photos and videos. The actress had shared the day already when their car had been broken into, and she was shocked. Ordway shared that she had lived in LA for years without incident, and was surprised that on the short trip, their vehicle's window was smashed and someone stole chargers and other items from the car. The trip had gotten off to a hilarious start when Ordway had filmed herself showing how she planned to pack the whole family with just carry-ons, including their homeschool materials. But she forgot to film the packing part of it, so the tutorial took a twist. It was supposed to be packing as a homeschool mom, but it turned into something else. Question: if you were upgraded but your family was not, would you take the upgraded seat? Ordway captioned as the next segment switched from home to after the flight. Ordway explained why the post's focus changed, adding that she was in the front of the plane, and they were, where? She panned the camera to her husband, who said, unimpressed, "We sat right near the toilet." Ordway cut to a clip she had filmed on board, quietly explaining that she had been upgraded to a first-class seat, while the rest of her family was in the back of the plane. She said she felt bad as she showed the text with Justin before showing her feet running down the aisle to their seats, so he could side-eye at her with mock disdain. Ordway ended the photos on a cute note, in costume for Abby on set, in a set of pajamas. She credited the outfit to the show's award-winning lead costume designer, Mandy Line. On The Young and the Restless, Chelsea and Adam openly talk about their son, Connor, and his mental health. Now the actors behind the roles are advocating publicly. As actors on The Young and the Restless, Melissa Claire Egan, Mark Grossman, and Judah Mackey have been giving an honest portrayal of a family dealing with obsessive-compulsive disorder. Today, May 15th, 2025, is Mental Health Action Day, a global initiative to shift the focus of mental health awareness from just knowing to taking action. It encourages individuals, organizations, and communities to take concrete steps to support mental well-being. The actors in the show took action by posting a video on their social media pages. Egan, Grossman, and Mackey spoke, encouraging people to take action for the kids in their lives. On The Young and the Restless, our characters aren't afraid to talk about mental health, Egan began. Thursday, May 15th, is Mental Health Action Day, Grossman continued. Kids need caring adults to keep them safe and happy. Help the kids you care about, Mackey said. The video concluded by suggesting viewers to visit kidsmentalhealthfoundation.org for helpful tips and tools. The video was shared on Instagram by Y and the actors with the caption, "Parents play an important role in helping kids navigate their mental health." The Young and the Restless is proud to partner with a Kids Mental Health Foundation because we know just how important it is to have these conversations. On this #Mental Health Action Day, learn how to support the kids in your life at kidsmentalhealthfoundation.org. As a way to show appreciation, eligible, verified service members are being offered 50% off any Paramount Plus plan for the life of the subscription, so you can stream at a discount. Just visit here on your desktop or mobile browser to verify your credentials and get started. The military discount is valid for verified, new, active, and former armed forces subscribers and includes active duty, retirees, reservists, National Guard, veterans, dependents, and spouses. If you already have Paramount Plus, you can still take advantage of the military discount offer. Just cancel your existing subscription, then resubscribe to Paramount Plus. Once you've been verified, your military discount is valid for the lifetime of your subscription or until you cancel. Young and the Restless sees Amanda Sinclair's arrival causing a ruckus, Victor Newman surprising Nikki Newman, and Kyle Abbott upsetting Claire Grace Newman. So, as this week ends, we've got Amanda in town, and it has the Winters family all up in arms. Lily Winters, Devon Hamilton, and Nate Hastings all get texts, and they show up to meet with Dumas. And as they filter in, they're like, "Hey, what are you doing here? What are you doing here?" And then Amanda shows up to drop a bombshell. Devon initially thinks that his ex Amanda might be Dumas, and Amanda kind of makes a joke about it, but then makes clear no, she's absolutely not. Dumas is a guy, she's only his attorney, and he wanted Amanda to meet with all of these interested parties to answer some questions for them. Of course, they want to know if Dumas is a fake name. Well, duh, Obviously it is. And Amanda says that he is absolutely the person that he claims to be, and he recruited Amanda. And she said she's been meeting him face to face, so she knows exactly who he is and says he has no interest in taking over Winters, but he was a big fan of Neil Winters. Devon's asking about why Amanda's showing up, and she thinks Dumas thought seeing a friendly face, which when it comes to Devon, her face is not so friendly, might kind of calm them down about his coming to town soon. And Amanda says her boss has just one focus, and that it's something that's going to please them, especially Lily. That doesn't sit well with them. There are lots of suspicions. Amanda does say Dumas is interested in Chancellor because he doesn't like what Victor did to Billy Abbott. But Amanda also said she doesn't like what Billy did to Lily. So very interesting. It's giving us some hints. Amanda says that Dumas admires them, but none of them trusts this mystery man or Amanda, who's now repping him. And she insists that time will reveal it all. So Devon is later wondering if Amanda is doing this to get revenge on him and send him some kind of message. They're grasping at straws because they just don't understand. And this turn of events has Nate thinking, yeah, maybe Damian Kane being a double agent is actually a good idea. Lily wants to expose Dumas and drag him out of the shadows. So there are these red flags that point to Dumas having a vested interest in Lily, also in Jill Abbott, also in Chancellor. Plus, they very specifically mention that he's only been active under this name of Aristotle Dumas for 6 years. Well, if you put that all together, you know who left Young and the Restless 6 years ago? It's somebody who admired Neil, has deep ties to Lily and Jill, and to Chancellor. That's Kane Ashby. Of course, right now Daniel Goddard, the actor who played Kane, is over at General Hospital on contract, and his run is set for a little while longer. So if Dumas is Kane, which the red flags are now pointing to, it's not going to be Daniel Goddard in the role. But of course, Billy Flynn is actually in a sweet spot, and he meets the requirements to play a recast Ashby. And if I recall correctly, we were told that Flynn was going to be playing a new character. But honestly, you can't trust CBS Daytime to give us the straight scoop on casting. In case you forgot, Kane was married to Lily. Jill's his stepmom through Colin, and she considers Kane her son. And of course, Kane is the father of Lily's twins, and he has a long and contentious history with Billy, and he's absolutely no fan of Victor's. He was close to Kay Chancellor, cares about her company, and always wanted Neil to like him. Meanwhile, Amanda next week gets together with her pal Phyllis Summers and demands to know why she is trying to reach Amanda's boss, Dumas. That's going to start this week, carry over into next week. And if he really is Kane, then, by the way, he does not have a romantic history with Phyllis or anything like that, but isn't a fan of hers in particular. So next week, Amanda has a run-in with Abby Newman, and Amanda reassures her that everybody just needs to relax. Dumas is trying to protect the Winters family and their company. He isn't trying to take anything from them, but Abby wants to know what's in it for this guy. So we're finally starting to get some answers on this whole storyline. That's just honestly, the identity has gone on too long. It's silly. Hopefully, we'll get some resolution and some closure next week. Also, at the end of this week, Nick Newman is trying to help Phyllis, and he tells her that he's there for her when he sees that she's clearly spiraling. And then Sharon Newman shows up and interrupts, and things are kind of prickly between Phyllis and Sharon after Nick goes. Looks like Sharon may be a little jealous about Nick and vice versa, about Phyllis and Sharon and Nick. And we all know Nick is being nice to Phyllis, but there's no romantic spark, at least not yet. But that's not to say there won't be. And it definitely feels like Sharon and Phyllis are headed for another rivalry over Nick. Been there, done that. We all got the t-shirt, right? So let's hope not, because the peace between them is actually kind of nice. And them fighting over Nick old news. In the latest developments from The Young and the Restless, a seismic shift is looming over Genoa City as whispers turn into headlines with the emergence of Aristotle Dumas. Once an elusive figure cloaked in mystery, Dumas is now stepping closer to the spotlight, leaving influential families and corporate moguls on edge. The intrigue begins with the appearance of Carter, a poised and enigmatic young man revealed to be Dumas's personal aide. His arrival at Chancellor Winters, accompanied by cryptic Instagram posts and carefully crafted public appearances, has sparked a storm of speculation. Actor Vincent Stalba's portrayal of Carter brings intensity and charisma, suggesting that the character is more than just a messenger. He's the gatekeeper to one of the most compelling power shifts Genoa City has ever seen. Dumas, long spoken of in hushed tones, has allegedly influenced political campaigns, legal battles, and biotech ventures across the country. Now, he appears to be focusing his attention on Genoa City. Described as both a savior and a threat, his reputation precedes him. With his shadowy portfolio and quiet dominion over strategic assets, he is poised to dismantle existing power structures and forge new alliances on his terms. The storyline reaches a critical point when Victor Newman organizes a private meeting with Devin Hamilton, Nate Hastings, and Amanda Sinclair, his own sister. Their invitation is cryptic, an audience with Aristotle Dumas. The atmosphere is tense as Amanda discloses her role as Dumas's legal counsel. She reveals that Aristotle Dumas is a pseudonym, a carefully constructed identity masking someone who has remained within reach yet beyond recognition. As Amanda explains, Dumas's power is derived not only from wealth and influence, but also from his anonymity. By operating through trusted proxies like Carter, he avoids the scrutiny that has ensnared others in Genoa City. His strategy is clear: remain unseen, move decisively, and co-opt the city's elite before they even realize it. Victor, known for his unshakable control, confronts the implications head-on. His concern isn't merely about business interference. He sees the foundational threat Dumas poses to the hierarchy he helped build. Amanda's message is unambiguous. This meeting is an invitation. Align with Dumas and gain access to immense influence and untold investments. Refuse and face systematic obstruction, contracts voided, deals unraveled, reputations dismantled. Devin and Nate are left wrestling with the gravity of the proposition. As Amanda warns, any attempt to uncover Dumas's true identity would be futile. His digital footprint has been erased, his past concealed beneath impenetrable layers of legal and cyber protection. This isn't just a new player in the game, it's a complete redefinition of the rules. What follows is a tense, strategic recalibration. Carter's subtle expressions, Amanda's careful rhetoric, and Victor's veiled fury all point to a single, inescapable conclusion. Genoa City stands on the precipice of a new era. With Aristotle Dumas pulling the strings, alliances will fracture, hidden truths will surface, and power will be reallocated with ruthless precision. In the latest unfolding drama from The Young and the Restless, buried secrets surface to disrupt the fragile calm in Genoa City. Audra's hidden past with Holden, long thought to be sealed away, returns to haunt her just as she attempts to build a new life with Nate. The emotional storm intensifies when Nate, by chance, overhears a deeply private conversation between Audra and Holden, unraveling a painful truth that could jeopardize everything. The return of Holden, a man tied to Audra's most intense memories, both romantic and tragic, triggers emotional chaos. Once her lover and the father of a child she was forced to give up, Holden's reappearance isn't a mere coincidence. His intentions are calculated, determined to force Audra to confront the past she's tried desperately to bury. Initially calm and composed, Audra finds herself increasingly vulnerable. Holden's confidence and unapologetic reminders of their shared history destabilize her, bringing unresolved emotions back to the surface. Their child, a tragic loss neither has truly healed from, becomes the centerpiece of a secret Audra can no longer contain. Nate, previously trusting and secure in his relationship with Audra, begins to notice subtle shifts. A fleeting glance, nervous gestures, and emotional distance raise his suspicions. His unease escalates when he witnesses the subtle intimacy between Audra and Holden at the athletic club. Though the setting was casual, their closeness and Audra's unconscious smiles speak volumes. Trying to rationalize his concerns, Nate initially suppresses his suspicions. However, mounting inconsistencies and Audra's increasing distraction prompt him to investigate. Secret calls, evasive behavior, and emotional withdrawal only confirm his fears. When Nate finally confronts Audra, her hesitant responses erode the last remnants of trust between them. Holden, meanwhile, becomes more assertive. He pressures Audra to face the truth, encouraging her to abandon the facade of happiness she maintains with Nate. To Holden, reclaiming their past means reviving lost dreams, rebuilding a family, and acknowledging their child, no matter the cost. Caught between the stability Nate offers and the undeniable emotional pull of Holden, Audra spirals into internal conflict. Her guilt deepens as she struggles with loyalty, past regrets, and the fear of exposing her darkest secret. The emotional toll is visible: sleepless nights, haunted expressions, and a growing sense of entrapment. Nate, despite his emotional turmoil, continues probing. As he pieces together fragments of Audra's past, the realization that she once shared a family with Holden devastates him. The foundation of their relationship, built on trust and transparency, collapses under the weight of the deception. The story reaches a critical juncture when Nate overhears Audra and Holden discussing their child. This revelation is not only heartbreaking but transformative. It shatters Nate's illusions of their relationship and confirms his worst fears. Audra's heart and history are entangled with another man in ways he can't compete with. As the emotional fallout spreads, Audra stands at a crossroads. She must choose between continuing a life built on a mission or confronting her past to seek genuine closure. But with every truth revealed, the risk of losing everything grows. A shocking death hoax left the young and the restless fans reeling, but Judith Chapman wasn't staying silent. After false reports claimed she passed away, the legendary Gloria Bardwell actress took matters into her own hands to reveal the truth. The young and the restless fans were left stunned earlier this week. A Facebook post falsely claimed Judith Chapman had died of a heart attack. The fake news spread like wildfire, causing panic among her loyal supporters. The post read, "Saddening Yovis, the legendary actress, passed away at her home." It added that an investigation revealed a heart attack, with no family present. That message sparked fear, sadness, and confusion across fan pages and comment sections. But Judith Chapman was quick to respond. She took to her own Facebook page to shut the rumor down immediately. Sharing the false report, she wrote just 2 bold words, "Fake any yubbies." Then she assured everyone, "So strange, but all okay." Once Judith clarified things, fans filled her page with emotional reactions. Many had already believed the hoax. One supporter wrote, "I must make 10 calls to make sure Judith was OK." Another said, "I saw that and was shocked and sickened. I just checked your profile to be sure." Others tried to lighten the moment with humor. One commenter joked, "Maybe Glow will turn out to be Aristotle Dumas." These responses showed just how much love viewers have for Judith. She's more than a soap icon. She's family to many. Sadly, the internet has become a breeding ground for misinformation. Judith's death hoax isn't the first, and it won't be the last. Scammers often use shocking lies to boost engagement and page traffic. But Judith Chapman's quick post helped shut the chaos down. Her message reminded everyone to check the facts before reacting, and thankfully, she handled it with grace and calm, just like Gloria Bardwell might do on screen. Judith Chapman has been a soap opera favorite for decades. She's best known as Gloria Abbott Bardwell on The Young and the Restless. But her work also includes standout roles on Days of Our Lives and General Hospital. She continues to act, inspire, and bring energy to her characters. And this recent scare just proved how deeply she's loved and admired. So no need to worry. Judith Chapman is alive, well, and very much kicking.